Hey everyone, it's Sean McLaughlin here from Audio Biz, and we're the Shure reps here for Clearwing in Wisconsin, and we're going to be covering some of the newest products out from Shure for the Axient line, as well as the new SLX-D. So starting off is the new AD3. This is a plug-on transmitter used for a lot of video productions. You can take anything that maybe a wired mic output of a console and now make it a wireless that can talk back to my Axient Digital system. So we've got a wired SM58 here. I can plug this right on, and now I have a wireless SM58. Cool thing about the transmitter is it does have phantom power on there, so if I'm using something like a shotgun, I've got the ability to give it full 48 volts of phantom power and be able to run that through this transmitter. You also have the ability to run the Shure SB900 batteries, rechargeables in the unit. And then there's also the ability to charge those batteries on the bottom with a USB-C connector, or you can also power the unit with shore power and have it plugged into a wall outlet. So if you're trying to transmit for a long time and need to pick up some audio remotely, you can do that. Next up is the push-to-talk buttons for our ADX transmitters. So what this allows you to do is screw this on the transmitter between the head and the transmitter. And it gives me a button that we can use to program to do multiple different things. So it can be a push to talk button or a push to mute, like a cough button. But you can also program it to route the audio out of your Axient Digital. So I can maybe have my normal audio when I'm talking coming out of my XLR feed, but when I hold down the button, it'll come out the balanced 1/4 inch that may be talking to the in-ears of a monitor engineer to ask them to change something. We also have a key fob version, so if you're using a body pack, you also have that same functionality, and you can kind of hold it like a presenter remote and have that capability. Again, it can be a momentarily cough button or something to switch your audio back out. Next up, we've got the newest digital wireless from Shure, the SLX-D. This is a good new digital wireless in the UHF spectrum available from Shure. Comes in a single channel or a dual channel unit, handheld and body pack. It's a nice metal handheld transmitter. We also do have rechargeable batteries that are available for the system. It can also be running off of AA batteries. Body pack wise, we have a new body pack that's a polymer design. It's also got nice rounded corners, so when it's on your body, it doesn't poke you or anything like that. We've also got simple switches now, so very easy, especially if it's a house of worship install and you just need to quick flick a switch. Makes it really easy to use. Also super bright OLED screens on here, so it's very easy to read anything that's going on that body pack. Some of the unique features are really set up for end users. On the system, they've got a really cool wizard for setting up new frequencies. So I can go in here and do a new frequency setup, and it's got a guided frequency setup that walks you through the whole process. So we'll show you that here quick. If I hit guided frequency setup, I've got a couple different options. I've got my initialize a system or add a receiver. So we're going to say that this is a brand new system, so we're going to hit initialize. And it's going to give me a warning that we're going to scan and deploy frequencies to everything. Then it also goes and tells me to make sure that all my transmitters are off so I can get a good clean scan. And what we'll do is we'll start a group scan here. And what it's doing is analyzing the frequencies around, looking for any RF waves or TV stations, anything that might be broadcasting in RF. And it's going to choose those frequencies for me. So right now you can see that I've got 3 receivers, my 3 different receivers, and I've got 21 available frequencies, and I can click assign, and what that's going to do is deploy those frequencies right to that unit. All I have to do is then sync my transmitter, which we'll do here, and we're now up and running. So it's a pretty easy system, super easy to use. Also really helpful for people that might not be super knowledgeable and have to dig around a menu structure. It walks you through everything. Hey, I'm Sean with Audio Biz, and we're here today talking about Pliant Technologies MicroComm and MicroComm XR series of portable digital wireless intercom. So we've got the MicroComm, which is the entry-level system into a digital intercom. It's a 900 meg ISM band system. It's a single channel unit. It gives you the ability to have up to 5 duplex users and unlimited listeners. So it's great for house of worship, entry-level theater, things like that. Pretty easy to set up and control. You got a push to talk button that can also be a latching button. You set one of these units up as the master and then everything else slaves off of that. We've got a whole lot of different options on headsets, from larger double over the ear headsets all the way down to single lightweight systems, or if you want to go look like the CIA, you can have the ear coil with the microphone tucked up the sleeve. So that system's great, again, for that kind of entry-level market. I just need about a small group of people to be able to communicate and maybe just some people to listen. The next one we've got is the MicroComm XR. So this is kind of the big brother to the MicroComm series. This is a little bit step up in a system in that it's a 2-channel system that allows you to run up to 10 duplex users on the system, and then also unlimited listen-only users. It also kind of has a cool feature in that my 10th user slot can actually be shared between multiple people as long as they're in a push-to-talk mode. Another nice thing about these guys is it has a built-in rechargeable battery that we can set on a dock. So we've got a charging dock that'll do up to 5 units plus spare batteries. And the housing of this unit is also IP67 rated. So it's waterproof, it can handle being outdoors in inclement environments. So if you've got a small production team, church, again, house of worship, theater, this is a good digital intercom system for you to check out.
Hi, it's Brian with Audio Biz, and today we're going to go over 2 great solutions from Listen Technologies. The first solution that we'll take a look at today is the Listen Everywhere system. The Listen Everywhere is an audio server that will provide us with great multi-channel audio anywhere from 2 to 16 channels over standard Wi-Fi. That audio comes out on a great looking little app where your clients can choose different audio feeds, whether that's a different sporting event, different languages. And we can also throw things on there like menus or worship schedules if you happen to be a church. This is a great solution for anything from house of worship to restaurants, fitness studios, and even up to drive-in theaters, to have your clients be able to take an app, listen to the audio stream of their choice, and you to also be able to get the message out there. If interpersonal communication is something that you're looking for, Listen Talk is a great solution for you. We have these simple rechargeable units, one of which can be set or more as a leader unit with the red. The rest will simply be the black units. The leader, then using any standard headset and even off-the-shelf headsets that you might have for your iPhone or Android, can simply talk to anyone in the group. We can then set these receivers up to either be listen only, to be able to press the button and talk to the leader alone, or to press the button and talk to anyone in the group. This makes it an ideal solution for anything from people doing a tour of something, or maybe now you're social distancing and you'd like to have a meeting with people in the same space, but don't have the infrastructure to have a lot of microphones, speakers, and all the associated gear that goes with it. The Listen Talk system is a perfect, flexible, and expandable solution for all of your needs with that.
Hey everyone, it's Sean here from Audio Biz, and we're at the Clearwing Vendor Showcase today. And behind me, we've got a huge video wall from Blizzard. We've got the Iris R2, which is a 2.9 millimeter video wall. As you can see, it gives me a great, beautiful image. Makes a great backdrop for your stage, presentations, anything like that. But let's show you around the back. That's where all the cool magic happens. So you can see behind here, we've got all of our panels connected. They're a square format, half meter by half meter panel. It's made up of 4 different modules. on there, so easy switching of panels. If you damage something or break something, you can swap out a module. We've also got the spline here, which houses our receiving cards and our power supplies. Those are easily removable with just 4 clips if you need to swap anything out. As for the connection, everything's connected. It's kind of all daisy chained together, and that's one thing that comes with all the Blizzard products is all of the cabling's included. So that's one thing that you don't have to think about. So we've got all of our PowerCon connectors and all of our Ethernet connectors to connect everything up. It's a pretty cool wall and has the ability to curve also. We've got it hung straight right now, but you've got the ability to go up to 10 degrees concaved and 5 degrees convex, so you can make some really cool, exciting backdrops and geometric shapes for your stage design. So for more information or to check a demo out, reach out to your Clearwing sales representative and they'll help you out.
Hi, I'm Pat McConnell with ALLEN&HEATH. I'm the Central U.S. Regional Manager, and I'm happy to be here at Clearwing in Milwaukee today on their showroom floor, showing off the Avantis console. So we've got the Avantis, which is our newest offering in our FPGA-powered series of Pro consoles from ALLEN&HEATH. I've got one model for the Avantis, and it's here with us today. In addition to that, what I've got for connectivity, I've got a Dante card in the back of the console. I've got some tracks running from a Mac that I've just bopped in via the Dante card. And in addition to that, we're using the GX4816 as a connectivity box. That's one of anything that will work from our Anything IO ecosystem for remote boxes with the Avantis. All right, some of the features about the Avantis that differentiate this product, and it's just been incredibly well received in the market. The Avantis is the mid-price point console for us that covers everything from the SQ series up to the D-Live series. And there's just one model. That's a wide swath, but we cover all of that with this single mixer. The mixer has 64 maximum inputs. That's a hard stop, right? So when we say, okay, what will it do? 64 inputs is max count, but that's a lot at the price point. And then it has 42 user-definable output buses. So you can set it up to be anything that you want as long as that output configuration doesn't exceed 42 buses. All right, so some of the new stuff about the design of the Avantis is this is actually an extruded aluminum frame. This thing is built like a tank. The head of our mechanical engineering team in the UK was a former British tank commander, so there's no joke there. Really, really rugged, really rigid, and what's unique about it is we developed this in a different way. 24 faders, rotary knobs, all the buttons and things that you're used to, but now with 2 15-inch plus high-def 1080p screens, and they operate individually. So if you wanted to get to something here, you can use both screens simultaneously for whatever it is that you wish to work on. This will support this side of the desk, this one will support this. Backside has some I/O in addition to the remote connectivity. You've got 12 XLR inputs and outputs with some digital connections for AES as well, and then 2 card slots on the back as well. So as I introduce people to the Avantis and you walk up to the console, the first thing that you would do after you fire it up and turn it on and you know what you need to do with your show, we can allow you to program this completely to whatever your desires are for the console use, right? So if I walk up and I go up to setup on the console itself, I can actually go in and I can hit configuration. And this gives me a window that I can go through and program the console for the output buses that I want. So as you can see, you can set up mono or stereo settings for the number of groups, the effects, aux, matrices. You're allowed to choose a couple of PFLs. And then even if you needed to, you could change your configuration. Do I want left LCR or do I want a left right? I'm gonna leave this as it is for this demo. But those things are easy and programmable. We don't do this in show. It takes a minute for this thing to upload. It reprograms the FPGA core in it, right? And that's the big distinct advantage for us in technology. The FPGA itself gives us tons of math horsepower. It's lightning fast, and there's sub-millisecond latency, super quick, and 2496 capable audio throughout the entire system, right? And most importantly, it's what we call mix coherent. Everything is phase coherent. Even if you route things to different effects, other buses, things of that nature, unless you're adding delay. There's no latency that's built into that. So incredible sound out of this desk as well. This sounds every bit as good as our flagship D-Live. So the second thing that I usually do is help people come out and take a look at it and say, okay, we're going to go back to the setup window, and now I want to actually show you that I can configure things differently on the console itself for control. I can lay channels out where I want them to be. So I'm going to jump down to the last channel where I don't have much laid out. I'm going to actually drag a few things off and just show here, I've got a blank slate on the bottom layer. So I can put anything I want wherever I want it. So I've decided that since I'm a bass player, bass is channel 1 in everything, right? Should be. And then if I want, I can grab a couple other channels. I don't have to space them identically or adjacently. I can put them where I want them. And if I wanted, I could decide that the DCA mix should be laid out on that same channel. So it's literally just a drag and drop wherever you want to place it. And that's what will show up on the console where you would have it. So you can do that with every input, every output, anywhere that you want on the console. So ease of use is all there. This isn't even anything that you probably need the instruction for if you find your way through the menus here, very simply and easily done. In addition to the layout, I've shown you a couple of different things on the surface itself, but we're using what we call the continuity UI. Okay, so that's the Brits term that they came out for this new workflow. And I sort of make a joke about the fact that it sounds a little bit like a medical procedure, but there's nothing medical about it. Continuity UI is using the new 2-screen high-def interface that we have. Note there's no select button on the console now. That was something that was fundamental to all digital consoles, but we don't need that. I can go through and I can select a channel just by hitting the touch screen or anything that I want to work with. Now note, I can select a channel that I want to work with or view here, and I can do the same thing on the right screen and have those be totally independent. Some things will operate independently in the 2 screens. Some will be the same. If I bring up scenes on this side and scenes on this one, I can recall a scene from either window. It'll be the same thing, very easy. I/O is done through assignment very simply on outputs, inputs, and any tie-in for any of the connectivity that you have, so that's easy to get to. We've got clear and concise labeling here. Setup is that. Utility will give you a couple of the additional functions. We do have a couple of memory slots for a USB port on the front or the back of the desk. This desk will record 2 tracks of any mix or anything that you'd like to assign in maximum to the USB. It's buffered now, which is an improvement over some of the previous consoles that we've had. And that'll give you 2496 audio in a WAV file format. We don't do MP3s. We're dealing with professionals for this series only. So in addition to the 64 channels of input and the 42 user assignable buses, one of the things that usually comes up in the conversation is, hey, what do the effects sound like? So we've got all 2496 capable effects routing and engines in here. Now we handle our effects a little bit differently than some of the competitors, and so that you'd understand that everything that you need is already on a channel strip. You have a fully functional gate. You have filters, you have inserts, parametrics, compressor on every channel no matter what, and delay if you needed to time compensate for a couple inputs. That's on every input. You don't have to assign that. That's not an effects slot. But what we do is give you an option for some of the effects that we have. Now it comes with our stock compressor. We offer 2 models for the Avantis. There's the stock Avantis, and then there's the Avantis with the D-Pack. Okay, so that's an effects upgrade that can be purchased at the initial purchase, or it can be updated later. And for not a lot of money, you get a lot more, a little fancier capabilities and some of the effects complements for processing, right? What do you have for EQs, or what do you have for compressors, and what type of models? We build our own, they're varsity level, and people look at that and go, well, actually the compressor that's in here is the stock one, is either the manual RMS or the manual peak. And those sound gorgeous. You don't require anything else. They're very transparent and they're easy to use. But if what you decided to do, and you really wanted to, is you decided that you wanted to have something that behaved like an 1176, well, lo and behold, we have the Peak 76 limiter, which is our model for that. Kind of fun story in that this was built off of a model from Olympic Studios, and that one was reputed to have been in Abbey Road. So the sound of the unit that you get sounds like that. If you like that kind of thing, that is in the complement that we offer. that we call the D-Pack, which is the upgrade. Now, in addition to that, the D-Pack upgrade can also give you more capability with a Dyne 8. If you're really into multi-band dynamics and adaptive EQs, that's something that you'd want to have. It's available in the upgrade only, doesn't come stock. But the one thing that it does come with stock, both models have 12 effects engines built into it for coloration, okay? So these already show up with everything that you need. Now, I only have 8 showing here because I programmed it for 8. Frankly, 8 effects units for what I do is excessive already. But if you really needed 12, you could have 12. You can limit it lower if you want, and that's set up in your bus counts. But depending on what you want to jump into, you can grab anything that you want in the models, including some kind of fun stuff like I've got, where is it? We did a model for an old tape echo, kind of a fun little feature, in that you can even turn the noise on if you want to really have it be lo-fi. So depending if you're mixing reggae or what your style is, that's kind of a fun feature. That comes in the unit itself, and that those 12 effects engines are available in both versions.